Greece everyone, this is Eldad Amara. This is part 2 of this video. I've done part 1. I want you to go back and look at part 1 in order to understand part 2. I'm not going to go back over everything. It's for you to go back and to look at part 1 of this video. Who's in control? I'm going to ask you again, who's in control? Whose narratives are you following? Are you following your own narratives, or are you following the narratives of the elite? It's time to get on the yellow brick road. Whose narratives are you following? Are you following your own narratives, or are you following the narratives of the elite? It's time to get on the yellow brick road. There's a group of people. They only make up 1% of this population, of the world's population, and they own and control the means to production. They own and control the instruments of power. Check it. They own the political system. They own legislation and law. They own science. They own technocratic institutions. They own medicine and every other thing that you can think of. They own the social media and the social media companies, that being your TV, that being your radio, that being your social media, okay? They own and control all of these instruments. Now, some people say to me, no they don't. I'm in control of my own destiny. I am free and I can do whatever I want to. Can you really? If for some reason supermarkets start to close down, how are you going to survive? Do you know how to hunt? Do you know how to fish? Do you know how to plant vegetables? So many of us are so dependent on these institutions to try and help us. And guess what? The elite want that. They want us to be dependent on them and not to be self-sufficient, to be self-independent of them. So they control us through all of these various different institutions. Now, the TV is one of the main institutions that condition the way that we think, condition the way that we feel. Because when we turn on the TV and we watch the news, what do? We absorb a lot of the information from the news and it goes into our psyche. And when they start using words, because they know that words carry frequency and words carry power, yeah? And words carry energy. So when they start using words like terrorists, when they use words like crisis, when they use words like refugees, when they use words such as stock market crash, okay, famine, these words creates a certain emotion and feeling within us. So that keeps us on a lower dimensional frequency, and that is where they want to keep us. Now there's people who are starting to slowly wake up from all this, and they're starting to realize that they're the ones with the true power. They're the ones with the true power, not the elite. They only make up 1% of the world's population. They own and control 99% of us through the instruments which they own. But the real true power lies within us. Just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. She thought that the real power lied with the Wizard of Oz. So when she got to Emerald City and then she saw the Wizard of Oz, when she went behind the screen and saw him pulling all these strings, she then realized that it wasn't him who had the power. It was her who had the power to be able to change things, to be able to get back to Kansas City because she was trying to get home. The wizard was merely pulling strings, and it was just a facade. The real power lies within us. not within these political institutions and the church and religion. These things are there to help to condition our minds and to control us. Now, the true power is not in your preachers, and it's not in your politicians, and it's not in your political parties whom you depend on to change things for you. The real power lies within us. Now, let me go back to this. Abraham Maslow and his hierarchy of needs. Okay? Many of us depend on, as I say, these institutions. We depend on them for our warmth. We depend on them for our food. We depend on them for our gas and electricity. We depend on these institutions to try and change things for us. But listen, at the bottom of this pyramid, biological and physiological needs have to be fulfilled before you move up to the next level, which is safety. And after safety, you move up again to the next level, which is love and belonging. Yeah? So love and belonging to your community or to your family. Then you move up again to self-esteem, to esteem, and then to self-actualization. When you get to that top of that pyramid, you then realize that you're the one who's in control of your destiny and not those elites. They're at the top of the pyramid trying to control you, okay? And through their ideologies and through their narratives and their belief systems, they're the ones who's trying to control you and trying to make you depend on them. Now, there's also something called frequencies. The elite know about these frequencies. They know that by keeping us down, by stopping us from vibrating to our higher self, to our high consciousness, okay? They keep us in control through fear. They know about these frequencies. Here's a frequency chart, okay? Let me read off some of these frequencies quickly. I had the chart upside down, so now I've got the chart the right way up. At the bottom of the frequencies is shame, which is a 20 hertz frequency. Then guilt, a 30 hertz frequency. Then apathy, a 50 hertz frequency. Grief, 75 hertz frequency. Fear, 100 hertz frequency. Desire, 125 frequency. Okay? And then, I'm not going to read out all of them. As you move up, you got love, 500 hertz frequency. Joy, 540 hertz frequency. Peace, 600 frequency. And enlightenment, 700 to 1000 hertz frequency. Enlightenment. When you move up through your frequencies till you reach your third eye, which sits right here in the middle of the brain. Okay? When that eye opens, you reach enlightenment. And then you reach your crown chakra. For those who know what I'm talking about, there's some people that actually know what I'm talking about. The elite. They're trying to keep us down in terms of our frequency. Okay? They're trying to keep us on a lower vibration. But it's for us to try and raise up in vibration until we reach that third eye, and then from the third eye, the crown chakra. And once the crown chakra is open, and once that crown chakra opens, you reach enlightenment. Okay? You reach enlightenment. Right now, there's still a lot of people who are locked down on that lower vibration. And that's where the elite wants you. They got you addicted to your telephones. They got you addicted to TV. They got you reliant on their political institution. They got you reliant on supermarkets for your food. Now, there's some people who are starting to wake up and they're starting to become more self-sufficient and doing things for themselves. So tell me, people, whose narratives are you following? Are you following your own narratives, or are you following the elite's narratives? It's time to get on the yellow brick road. Whose narratives are you following? Are you following your own narratives, or are you following the narratives of the elite? It's time to get on the yellow brick road. So many people are addicted to their phones and to social media. And Karl Marx, German philosopher, he turned around and he said that religion is the opium of the people. Religion is the opium of the people. They're so dependent on religion and on their religious leaders to try and change things for them. Now, today, in today's society, the opium of the people is social media and people's telephones. They're so addicted to it, they cannot put it down. And who owns and controls all this? Who's shaping your mind and your thinking? It is coming from the elite. The new opium of the people is social media. The new opium of the people is your smartphones. And that is keeping you locked down on this lower frequency. In order to raise up your frequency, in order for you to become more self-sufficient and more independent, you need to raise up your vibration up into that fourth dimension. At the moment we're vibrating. Right now many are still vibrating on that third dimension. In order to find your higher self, you need to raise up your frequency. So many still have their eyes wide shut. Many still have their eyes wide shut. They're blinking like a horse. You need to have your eyes wide open, not your eyes wide shut. Whose narratives are you following? Are you following your own narratives, or are you following the narratives of the elite? It's time to get on the yellow brick road. This is Eldad Amara, over and out.